Even though this is coming after the Reader Shelf update, I just want to note I still did pretty good. Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to be doing a book haul, and it has been a little bit since we've done a book haul because I have really been trying to make sure that I'm not buying too many books. Now, there are definitely some here that I bought, but there are also a lot that were gifts or just, some things I got on sale. I'm not perfect, okay? I still bought some books, of course. But we're going to start with some book mail because I had not had a chance to film this as a short yet. I wanted to take a look. So we got a nice note in here, and that is some extremely nice packaging. And we got a little bit of a wrapped book here. So let's take a look super quick and open up the card. Oh, it's a little thank you card. That's cool. So we have a card from Tobias Youngblood, author, including the card. That's a nice touch here as well. And so this is a fun one because this author actually did reach out to me about a review copy for his book, which didn't fully sound like it was my thing just based on some of the elements and things that it was doing. But there was one particular aspect that sounded really interesting, that it features insectile shapeshifters. And I mentioned that, and he said, well, you know what, actually, why don't I send you the prequel that's a little bit more your style and specifically features the insectile shapeshifters. And so that's how we ended up with Wind and Veil by Tobias Youngblood, which that is an interesting cover. This is pretty short, and that whole idea about these insectile shapeshifters, that's really hard to repeatedly say. I'm just going to point that out, Tobias. But I'm really interested, so I will be very curious to get that one a shot. And worked out super well. Let's jump in. I do have a fair few other things here to go through, so we're going to take a look as well. But wanted to start there. So I did end up doing one, I think just one book outlet order during the time here, and then I got a few things at half price books because, when you go there to haul books, naturally you have to buy something. So first out of the stack, we have Kagan the Damned by Jonathan Mayberry, and I've been hearing a lot of good things about this, and I did get this nice looking hardcover, although I will probably end up doing at least some of this on audio because from what I've heard, it's narrated by Ray Porter, who is one of my favorites, but I've been excited to get to this one for a while. It sounds like it's going to be interesting. Then we have The Real Story, the first book in the Gap Cycle by Stephen R. Donaldson. Now, I am prioritizing his fantasy book because there's a duology, Morden's Need, that I plan to get to before this. But I've heard good things, and also that it's pretty brutal, the Gap Cycle. And this is a really nice, interesting hardcover and cover here. So I will be really interested to check that out as well, although it's going to be down the line, but I could not pass it up when I came across it. Well, speaking of Stephen R. Donaldson, we have The Killing God, and this is a behemoth. This is from his new series that's still publishing, and it's The Great God's War. That's what it is. And the first book, The Seventh Estimate, was really short. I can't remember. I think it's War Within. I think they're on my other shelf, but they've gotten a little bit bigger each time. And then you have this behemoth. So I am really excited. Again, this one, though, because it's his new series, is pretty low on the priority, but I now have the whole thing. Although I've really enjoyed Stephen R. Donaldson, and just recently I heard some good things about that, so it makes me feel like I did make the right choice. We have another author up next with two books, which is Tad Williams. We have Happy Hour in Hell and Sleeping Late on Judgment Day. This one's actually in plastic. I don't feel like they really do that anymore with books, so that was really interesting to see. Cool to have that there. I still need to get another copy of book one, though, actually, because I read it now, but the copy I ended up buying was like really bad condition, so I ditched it, and then the new one never made it in the mail, and I had to get refunded and do a whole thing there. So still need to get another copy, but I am still... I'm excited to get to those, even though they've been very interesting. Not quite my thing, but they've been really different from other Tad Williams stuff, so they've been fun to try. And then speaking of getting the third book in a series that I haven't even started yet, we have book 3 of the Seven Kennings, A Curse of Krakens, that's a really fun name to say, A Curse of Krakens by Kevin Hearn. And this is also pretty chunky, but they've all been pretty big as well. The first book is A Blight of Blackwings. And I did start it on audio, early into audio, and I didn't think the audio was bad, but I was newer on audio, and it felt like the kind of book that was going to be a little bit hard to follow on audio, so I ended up just putting it down, and I haven't gotten back to it. I still think I'm going to end up physically reading the series, so I will be picking it back up. I just haven't quite gotten there yet. I feel like I'm gonna do the gifts and the other things probably last here. So these are not in order of when I actually got them, but we'll go. I did pick up some more Recluse books from my half-price books. I really, really would love to start getting these in hardcover, but it's kind of hard to track down old hardcovers of the series. But I have several of these on mass market paperwork, and so I picked up. I'm going to show the covers because these are all nice, classic. Fall of Angels and Colors of Chaos. As well as the White Order. I've heard really good things about this one, actually, because this follows the Chaos Wizards. Yeah, so just some miscellaneous ones I figured I would pick up because that is a series I'm very much planning to continue, and I like to have those physical copies there. And then I picked up, because I needed to find the continue, Xiang and the Sword Saint by C.F. Iggulden. These, I read Darien, the first book, and these are the other two in Empire of Soul. It was recommended by Books with Genghis Khan, and it was one of those series that, like, the first book was only a 3-star for me. I really enjoyed it. I had some issues with it, but then book 2, I also still think it's a flawed series, but I was just enjoying the heck out of it, because I've already read book 2. I just am really belated and actually filming a book haul. So I'm really excited to read book 3. It's been a really fun series, really something different, and so I'm excited to continue. And it's a fun one to check out. So then we have a lot of gifts and or other cool things is mostly what we got left. I do have one other thing that I actually just purchased. Which was this Best of Ernest Hemingway, also in plastic. But I actually got this also at Half Price Books, but it's brand new. And Ernest Hemingway is one of those authors that I've been meaning to try for a really long time. I don't know when I'm going to get to this, but I am planning to try to do some more classics this year, so we'll see if any of these end up. But it's a good looking book, so I ended up picking up pretty cheap. All right, moving on then now to all of the cool stuff. So first off, we have The Very Best of Kate Elliott. And I've read this. I actually borrowed this from my library, but in Kate Elliott's newsletter, she said she had some books that you could get for sale. I have some bookmarks in here as well. And so I was able to actually purchase this from Kate Elliott directly, signed. It's pretty great because this is a collection of shorts and essays, and it is excellent. And there's a specific essay in here I have referenced so many times, and it used to be available online and it's not anymore, so now I'll be able to actually go back to the physical book. So I'm pretty happy to have that one there. And always cool to have some miscellaneous bookmarks and stuff. Can never have enough bookmarks as well. And there's this little actually like signed sticker. I didn't even realize that was in there as well, so that's really cool as well. Moving on to some other gifts, we have Song of the Beast by Carol Berg. And Carol Berg is an author I really have been wanting to try. And this one was sent to me by Andrew of Andrew's Wizardly Reads. It's supposed to be good. I think this was a recommendation from Tori at Tori Talks, I'll mention too. But I'm really excited because this should be my first Carol Berg when I get to this. And really an author that I want to check more out of as well. I'm excited to get to there. Oh, hiding under here was one more one that I got on actually Book Outlet. I got this copy of the Fiona of Our Tapestry, and it makes me sad because I had 2 of 3 of these really odd-sized copies that were the original Janny Wirtz and Don Mates artwork, which is much better. But I found this omnibus, and my other sizes were oddly sized and a non-matching set. So I went with this one and decided to get this because it'll fit a little bit better. So there was that one there. All right, so then we have moving on here as well. So I just mentioned Tori and The Hidden Girl and Other Stories by Ken Liu. This was sent to me by Tori. I'm going through all my holodeck type of stuff here. I've been very mixed on Ken Liu. Obviously, if you know, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Dandelion Dynasty, even though it was really good. It just wasn't for me. But his short story collection, the Paper Menagerie, was fantastic. I really enjoyed it, so I'm really excited to try that one as well. Up next, we have Seasons of Albion, the 8th Chant, and this was a surprise one that I read and really, really enjoyed, and this was sent by Josephine, and very much appreciated here. So this is nice now that I have a physical copy of this one that I have read, a book I really, really enjoyed this year. We have Reven Earth by Zamar Amir. This one I actually got from a family member, and I didn't realize this was going to be a naked hardcover initially, and I love it. This one, It's been on my list ever since I saw the cover online. I knew nothing about it, but I saw this and I'm like, I want to read this book. Since then, I've actually interacted with the author, and he sent me his audiobooks too, so I can actually multi-format this. It was funny, we were chatting and he offered it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that I have the hardcover coming as a Christmas gift from a family member based on questions they asked me about my wish list. But yeah, so I will probably multi-format, but beautiful book there. Happy to have that one here as well. And we have The Fury of the Gods by John Gwynne, book 3 in this new trilogy that's name suddenly escapes me. What is this even called? Why can't I think? My brain no longer works, you guys. Dad brain is real, and that is my excuse. Bloodsworn. I wanted to say Ringsworn, but that's Howard Andrew Jones' Bloodsworn trilogy. But yes, so we have this one. I've enjoyed the first 2 books with it, but I had not yet gotten around to this actually. So the other ones, the first book I read in New York of, the second one I might have also, I'm trying to remember now, but this one I hadn't gotten around to. So now I'm going to have this physical reminder staring at me. It's a good reminder to get to it. So that one was from Patrick from Discord. Thanks so much. And then we have, which I'm missing the note, but I'm pretty sure this was from Derek Bailey. Who sent this book? We have No Land for Heroes. Cal Black, Derek Bailey, great author, by the way, as well. But this one has been on my list to get to for a really long time. Actually, the cover is even changed. I know it used to be different. But this one, I know I heard Andrew talk a lot about, and this is sort of a fantasy western, which is something I've not read a ton of, but I've been really curious about this particular book, especially after reading Cal Black's story in the Advent of Winter. I was really interested because I ended up enjoying that one. And then finally, we have Tales of the Border Knight and the Crimes of Rooker Flynn, both by A.R. Witham, both of which I've read but didn't yet have physical copies of. This was from Jake and Stacy, the Bookish Drummer and the Chapter Conundrum. Thank you both so much as well. So nice to add to my collection. To go up there too, and then I'll have to fill out. I still need to read the second Rooker Flynn book, but it was really nice to fill that out as well. Hey, editing Nico here. Wouldn't you know it? I should have waited just a slight bit before filming that because I did end up getting one more book, The Daughter's War by Christopher Buehlman. This is actually a prequel to The Black Tongue Thief, which I read back when that came out here. This was sent to me by Heidi. Thanks so much. I've been really curious to try this. I know it's supposed to be a lot darker in tone and more serious than Black Tongue was, but it's been on my list to get to for a while. So again, now I got this nice physical copy that will remind me to read it. So thanks so much. So there you have it, a pretty big haul. This is from the last several months as well as the holidays, a lot of these, like I said, so I still feel like this wasn't terrible, but I was getting to the point where I'm like, even before the holidays, I was just about ready to film a haul, and then with the things that I got around there, I'm like, I really need to film. So that's everything, a lot of stuff that I'm really excited for, some stuff that's going to be a while before I get to, but just adding to collection. But thanks so much for everybody who sent a book around the holiday season, very much appreciate it, and I'm really excited about all of these as well. So let me know if you got any fun books or just books you're excited about around the holidays as well. Would love to hear from you down in the comments, but otherwise that's it for this one. Make sure to give it a like if you enjoyed it. Check the links in the description as always for the Patreon if you want to support what I do, as well as the Wizardly Enclave Discord if you want to chat books, whether any of these books, other books, really anything at all. It's a lot of fun and we'd love to have you. And of course, if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe.